Hello everybody, welcome back to another chart nerd technical analysis video. You have to excuse me, I'm a bit under the weather today. But anyways, diving into this, today we're having a look at Ordinals. The ticker is ORDI against USDT on the weekly time frame. Before I start, this video is not financial advice and is all for educational and entertainment purposes only. If you do enjoy the content, please do give it a thumbs up, maybe even drop a comment and a subscribe if I'm lucky. Let's dive into some content. So I wanted to point out a few things here. First, let's give the breakdown. So what a whopping move we had for ORDI here. If you was involved in this, fair play to yourself, man. A 32x in the space of half a year. What a ridiculous move, all the way from September to March of 2024. Crazy gains. But if you are on the sidelines and you are looking for an entry point on this project, again, do your own research. I'm just the chart guy for you. But I think this has amazing fundamentals, and right now it's just pulling back for key support before continuation of its trend. So what I'm looking at for ORDI here is a potential pullback to this key sort of zone of previous resistance that hasn't been backtested as support. Now this sits at roughly $25 to $23, and there are a few things in the chart that are pointing out to me that we could be looking to come back to this range. Again, what tends to happen is if you start to put in an impulsive move, okay, you have waves within waves, right? So you can see that we had this few weeks of resistance here for ORDI where it pulled back in November of 2023 for a couple of weeks, but then just continued to melt out. But since breaking out of this key level of resistance, we haven't actually back tested this yet as support. So there are a few things in the chart that are pointing to me saying, okay, well, what's going to give the game away and say potentially we're coming back to this key level before continuation? Well, if we take a look at the key points of resistance for ORDI and a previous key level of support that was needing to be held, this might have just given the game away. We was in this channel for a little while, so from where was we? December of 2023 all the way up until April of 2024, we were sort of just range bound for a little while, waiting for a decision to be made. But in this, we did put in some sort of triple top or head and shoulders, where you had these three tops here within this level of support and this level of resistance. Again, as you can see, it was support, we came back for support, but on the third point, on the third time we came back to it, for a couple of weeks we just lost it. We came back below it and we confirmed it as resistance. So moving forward, this area for me of around, I think it's $49 to $50, yeah, about $49, $50. I think this range could act as could act as key resistance. If we analyze the breakdown target of this triple top and head and shoulders, what we do is we go from the head to the neckline and we drag the target down. So when you lose this key support level, this is the technical target, and you can see it brings you back down to this high. So just from losing this range and the triple top and head and shoulders alone, just support and resistance and noticing some patterns. This is a topping out pattern, and it tends to indicate, okay, you are rolling over. We did have our all-time high at $95. We came back for support, but put in a lower high. A lower high just indicates depleting buying pressure. At that point, we had a large candle down, which lost the support of $49, and then we rallied back up into it in April to confirm it again as resistance. So it wouldn't surprise me if we do see some relief from this wick over the next couple of weeks, and we do sort of hold this and work our way up. This could be the key level of resistance to confirm the next move and final move down towards this previous high for support. And what's interesting is a few other things. So keeping all that in mind, okay, I'm going to get rid of that for now, but keeping that in mind, we also have a descending level of resistance on our heads now. So we topped out in March, came back for the low, met it as resistance in April. So we've got this descending level of resistance, but we also have a key level of descending support. So if we zoom out a bit here, it might just give a bit of a clearer image. But this is called a falling wedge, where you come up into resistance, we've come back to support. Potentially right now, we could be looking for relief off of this support up into resistance. And isn't it funny that that resistance point could tie up with this previous $49 support that we was holding? So are we going to sort of rally up here towards the $50 range at this crossroads of resistance? And this is giving confluence to the point, the fact that we're going to pull back again inside this falling wedge towards the $26, $27, $25 range. Is it that simple? Falling wedge, simple, back up to resistance, $50 that we might fail to break through, meet the crossroads, come back for a final wave, back down. Something else to consider, another confluence point, we could be in a 5-wave correction, wave 1, wave 2, this is a wave 3, a wave 4 back up to the $50, so you don't go higher than this previous wave 1 low, and then get your confirmational wave 5, back down to support on this falling wedge, back down to support on this prior high resistance, and confirm it as support before continuation. It could literally be that simple. What we also need to think about as well is, if this is the low here, could that potentially be the low and we don't come back to this high? It could, but again, at the moment in this correction, there isn't enough data in the charts to suggest that, unless we do see relief and come up to this $50 from this low, as I said, start building up and break up and come back to our higher low and start forming some sort of ascending triangle under $50 where you're making a bottom structure, then at that point I might change my mind. But at the moment, it does look like potentially we could be coming up for a wave 4 before getting a wave 5 back down to this key support in the falling wedge, which is equally the head and shoulders target, breakdown target as well, which we looked at earlier. Could that be the play? Lastly, before I go, what we like to see in falling wedges is at least 3 points of contact, 3 points of contact on resistance. So we've got 1 point there. Okay, why is my mouse bugging? We've got a point of resistance here. We've got another point of resistance here. It's bugging out, it's not letting me do it. And then we could come up to another 3rd point of resistance. And then equally, I'm just gonna get my brush on for this. You would then have 1 point of support, 2 points of support. What is my mouse doing? 3 points of support. And then you've got 3 points of contact on resistance, 3 points of contact of support within this channel. What is it doing? And then you get the breakout. And that would just confirm, again, 3 points on each trend line is what you need within a falling wedge to confirm it. So this range I'm going to give up in a second because I don't know what my mouse is doing. But this range at $24 is just sticking out to me like a sore thumb. $24, $25, back down on this previous high, broken out, coming back in a falling wedge for support. Equally, you got a head and shoulders. You've lost the support of the head and shoulders. Could run up into it as resistance for a wave 4 before the final 5th wave down. Messy, 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 messy. But the idea is to take away from this, guys, $50 is key resistance. And key support, if we do sweep this low and come back for a final wave, is at $25 to $24. I hope you enjoyed the content today from Chart Nerd TA, guys. Until next time, take care. Peace out.